Hello there, my name's Gavin Dudeney and I'm Director of Technology for the consultancy. In this short talk in Future Trends in Learning, I'll be taking a look at a rationale for M-learning or mobile learning. I'll be looking at 9 points which I think make mobile learning a very logical choice for lots of educational institutions these days. So, without further ado, let's get into those 9 reasons. The first reason, a primary reason I think, is that mobile learning is cheap. The devices are all around us. In many countries, students already have the devices. They'll be bringing them to class with them. They may currently be banned in class, but the fact is that a lot of very, very good technology is making its way into our classrooms every day. At the moment, we're not really making use of that technology, but we should, because institutions, schools, universities and other educational institutions really can't afford to buy the technology equipment they need. But with all this cheap, good equipment coming into the class, we really should be making use of it and perhaps spending the little money we do have on things like providing good Wi-Fi, that kind of thing. The second reason, I think, is that mobile learning is easy. We all know our devices, students know their mobile devices, we know our mobile devices, and we don't have a real need for the kind of technical support that we might need with laptop computers or desktop computers and complicated software programs. The kind of apps that you get on mobile devices tend to be easy to use. Another reason I think to use mobile learning is that it's not disruptive. Desktop computers, laptop computers, they tend to get in the way often. We see them sitting very much as a barrier between a student and a student, or between the student and a teacher. It's hard to make something like a laptop or a desktop invisible, but a mobile phone can simply be placed upside down on the table in front of us and, to all intents and purposes, disappear, allowing us to work with more traditional materials like a course book, dictionaries, and that kind of thing. The next reason, I think, is that mobiles and mobile devices are intrinsically motivating. People use them all day, every day. People are motivated by their devices. They get a lot of enjoyment from their devices. Hopefully we can capture a little bit of that motivation and bring it into class with us. This means perhaps taking advantage of some of the apps or things that students do already on their phones, or by helping students to identify useful apps which may be of help to them in their language learning. I think the next reason to use mobile devices and mobile learning is that mobiles are like bridging devices between what happens outside of class and inside of class. This means that students can start work outside on their mobile devices as they're walking around town or in their own homes, and then bring that work with them to class and then work on that in class or finish it off in class. Similarly, activities which begin in class can be carried out and continued and finished outside of class. And this is a technology that really does bridge between what happens inside of class and outside of class. And it becomes used regularly, this kind of work becomes a very natural part of what people do. And I think that bridge is incredibly important. We don't, it's often very difficult for us to make connections between what we do in class and outside of class. Mobile devices can make that easier. Moving on to think about the tools, I think when we talk about mobile learning, teachers tend to think of expensive smartphones and apps and things that cost a lot of money, when in fact you can do an awful lot with phones which perhaps aren't that smart or which aren't that modern. Not everybody has to have the latest iPhone or Samsung phone to do mobile learning activities. Most mobile phones made in the last 10 years have a set of basic built-in affordances. They all have those, and those are things we can work with. So things like text, for example. Most phones can work with text. We have texting applications for sending text messages. We have note-taking applications for taking notes or dictations. We have calendars for adding appointments. We have address books for adding contacts. All of these things can be used in teaching activities. We also have the image, of course. Most mobile phones made in the last 10 years have a camera in them. They'll be able to take photographs. This means that learners can collect photographs from outside. This might be vocabulary areas, for example, collecting photographs of modes of transport. Or they could be linguistic ones, collecting examples of English in the city where they live. Street signs or shop signs, in shopping centres, that kind of thing. But the image is a powerful thing. We can record our daily routines. We can record our families, talk about our families. All of this can be done with a simple camera, but can also provide opportunities for deeper personalisation. And the investment that people have in their work when they're the people providing their own images. So a super powerful thing, the camera, and very easily overlooked, I think. Moving towards the end of this presentation, most mobile phones made in the last few years can also record audio. And this gives students a chance to record themselves, listen to themselves, work on fluency and pronunciation, record things for the teacher to listen to later and provide feedback on, all sorts of things. With an extension of internet access and apps, these audio recordings can be shared online where other students can listen to them or the teacher can listen to them, and you can build in peer correction and teacher correction. And I guess finally, video. Video is a very powerful medium. We can have students working on presentations, advertisements, shows, all sorts of things, research projects, show and tells, recording themselves. You can even, I think, instead of doing pair work speaking activities, do speaking activities that involve groups of 3 where one person is filming the other 2. And as you build up this bank of incredible student-produced video, this can then be used for things like fluency and pronunciation work, error correction, and feedback. So this is a very brief talk, but I hope you can see, I think that the mobile phones are not only incredibly versatile, they're easy to use, they can fit nicely and neatly into what we already do in class, providing us with a set of affordances which make for a wide variety of activities. And the fact that they are ubiquitous, that they're everywhere, almost everywhere, makes them an ideal choice when we're looking to the future and looking for what sort of technologies we might want to invest in and what sort of technologies we might want to engage our students in. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a fruitful discussion after this, and it's been a great pleasure spending this time with you. Bye for now.